coffee hit his chest like a declaration of war. Alana watched in horror as the dark liquid spread across Yuri Montero's pristine white shirt, seeping into the Italian fabric like a stain on her entire career. The boardroom fell silent. 12 executives stared. Her hands trembled, still holding the empty tray. "I'm so sorry, Mr. Montero. I didn't see the corner of the table. I can fix this. I'll leave." His voice was ice. His gray eyes burned through her, and for a moment she saw something flicker there. Not anger. Something deeper. Something that looked almost like recognition. She fled to the bathroom, mascara running down her cheeks. 3 months as his assistant. 3 months of perfecting his green tea, organizing his impossible schedule, translating his cold efficiency into human language for the rest of the staff. All destroyed by one clumsy moment. Her phone buzzed. My office. Now, the walk down the hall felt like a funeral march. Through the glass walls, she saw him standing by the window, shirt changed, posture rigid. The city sprawled below, indifferent to her humiliation. She knocked. He didn't turn. "Pack your bags," he said. Her stomach dropped. "Mr. Montero, please. I know I messed up, but I need this job." "I'll do anything, pack your bags," he repeated, finally facing her. "We leave for Cancun in 3 hours. Business meetings." "You're coming with me." She blinked. "What? Unless you'd prefer to be fired?" "No, sir. Why would you still want me thereafter? Because despite your catastrophic coordination, you're the only assistant who's lasted more than a month." He stepped closer. "And because I don't have time to train someone new before these meetings." The air between them felt electric. She caught the scent of his cologne, sharp and expensive. "Don't make me regret this," he said quietly. That night, she threw clothes into a suitcase with shaking hands. Her roommate watched from the doorway, grinning. "So your hot billionaire boss is taking you to Cancun. That's either really good or really bad." "It's professional," Alana insisted. "Sure, and I'm the Queen of England." The flight was torture. First class meant sitting beside him for 5 hours. He worked on his laptop, jaw tight, occasionally barking orders at her. She took notes, tried to ignore how his forearm looked when he typed, how his voice dropped lower when he was thinking. She hated how aware of him she was. When they landed, humidity hit her like a wall. Palm trees swayed. The ocean glittered in the distance. Paradise. The hotel concierge greeted them with champagne and smiles. "Welcome to Soleil de Mar. The presidential suite is ready for you both." "Both." Alana's voice cracked. Yuri's expression didn't change. "There was a booking error. It's been handled." "But there's only one. The couch is comfortable," he said, striding toward the elevator. The suite was obscene. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked the ocean. A king bed dominated the space, white sheets crisp and mocking. The bathroom was marble and gold. A balcony stretched out with 2 chairs and a table. She stood frozen. This was wrong. All of it. "I can get my own room," she said. "No." He set down his briefcase. "I need you accessible for early morning calls. This arrangement stays. You can't just... I can." He looked at her then, really looked at her, and something in his expression softened. "You take the bed. I'll manage." That night, she lay awake listening to the ocean. On the couch, Yuri was silent. But she could feel him there, awake too, breathing in the darkness. When dawn broke, she found him already on the balcony, laptop open, eyes on the screen. His hair was disheveled, his shirt half unbuttoned. "Green tea?" she offered. He glanced up. For a second, she saw it again. That flicker. Like he was seeing her for the first time. "You remembered," he said. "After the coffee incident, I figured memorizing your preferences was survival." The corner of his mouth twitched. Almost a smile. And Alana realized something terrifying. She wasn't afraid of being fired anymore. She was afraid of what she was starting to feel. The pool water was crystalline, reflecting the afternoon sun in dancing fragments of light. Alana dipped her toes in, letting the warmth seep into her skin. For the first time in 3 days, Yuri wasn't hovering. No meetings. No reports. just this stolen moment of peace. She'd changed into the blue bikini almost defiantly. If he could control every minute of her day, at least he couldn't control this. Enjoying paradise? The voice was warm, accented. She looked up at sun-bleached blonde hair and an easy smile. The man held a surfboard, his chest tanned and bare. Trying to, she said, laughing. Still learning to turn my brain off. Let Cancun do that for you. Sat beside her, close but not invasive. I'm Marco, surf instructor, Alana. Professional disaster. He laughed, a sound like breaking waves. They talked about nothing important. He made her feel light, normal, not like an assistant scrambling to please an impossible boss. When he touched her arm, explaining how to balance on a board, she didn't pull away. She didn't notice Yuri watching from the terrace, but she felt it when he appeared beside them, his shadow falling across the water like a storm cloud. Alana. His voice cut through the laughter. She looked up, startled. Marco stood, polite. Just offering some surf lessons, she's busy, Yuri said. Not loud, but final. I was actually just Alana began. Now, the walk back to the suite was silent, suffocating. She could feel his anger radiating like heat. That was humiliating, she said when they were alone. Humiliating. He turned on her, eyes blazing. You're here representing my company. Do you understand what that means? He was just being friendly. Friendly. The word dripped with something dark. Is that what you call it? What's wrong with you? She stepped closer, heart pounding. Why do you even care? I don't. Liar. The word hung between them, dangerous and electric. Yuri's jaw clenched. You don't know what you're talking about. Then explain it to me, she challenged. Explain why you looked at him like you wanted to throw him into the ocean. Explain why you can't let me have one conversation without controlling it. Gus. Because he stopped. Ran a hand through his hair. When he looked at her again, his expression was raw. Because seeing you laugh with him made me want to break something. Her breath caught. That's not professional, she whispered. No, he stepped closer. It's not. The air between them crackled. She could smell his cologne, see the tension in his shoulders, the war happening behind his eyes. This is a mistake, he said, but he didn't move away. Then why aren't you leaving? He had no answer. The knock on the door shattered the moment. Yuri pulled back, composure sliding into place like armor. A hotel employee stood there with an envelope. Mr. Montero? Urgent message from New York. Yuri took it, opened it, and his expression went blank. What is it? Alana asked. He didn't answer. Just walked to the balcony, staring at the paper like it held a death sentence. She followed. Yuri, talk to me. The company is being audited, he said finally. Someone reported financial discrepancies. If they find anything, I lose everything. But you haven't done anything wrong, right? His silence was answer enough, Yuri. He turned to her, and for the first time, she saw fear in his eyes. 5 years ago, I made a choice. A business deal that wasn't exactly legal. I thought it was buried. Who reported you? I don't know. But his expression said he suspected. That night, she found him on the balcony at 2 a.m., still dressed, staring at the ocean. She brought him tea, sat beside him in silence. Why are you still here? He asked quietly. Because you look like you need someone. Should hate me. I've been terrible to you. Yeah, she agreed. You have. He almost smiled. But I've also seen the way you work yourself to exhaustion, she continued. The way you take responsibility for everything. The way you try so hard not to need anyone. She paused. It must be lonely. He looked at her then, really looked at her, and something in him cracked. I don't know how to do this, he admitted. Whatever this is, then we'll figure it out together. He reached for her hand. His palm was warm, calloused from years of building an empire. She let him hold it. And for a moment, beneath the Mexican stars, two broken people found something that felt like hope. Until her phone buzzed. Unknown number. One message. Ask him about Alana. Ask him what he's really running from. Her blood turned cold. Who's Alana? The question came out before Alana could stop it. Yuri's hand went rigid in hers, then slowly pulled away, Where did you hear that name? His voice was careful. Too careful? Does it matter? She held up her phone. Showing him the message, his expression shifted from shock to something darker. Calculation. Someone's trying to manipulate you. Then tell me the truth. He stood, pacing the balcony. The ocean wind whipped his shirt, but he seemed carved from stone. Alana was my wife. The word hit her like a physical blow. Was? She died. 3 years ago, didn't look at her. Car accident. She was driving to meet me for dinner. I was late. Always late. Alana's heart cracked. Yuri, I'm so sorry, don't. He held up a hand. Don't pity me. That's not why I never told you? Then why? Because he finally turned, and his eyes were hollow. Because she didn't die in an accident? She was murdered. The word hung in the air like poison. The business deal I mentioned? He continued. It involved some dangerous people. Alana found out. Threatened to expose everything. And his voice broke. They made it look like an accident. Oh my God. Alana stood, reaching for him, but he stepped back. I let it happen. I could have walked away from the deal, but I didn't. I chose power over protecting her. His laugh was bitter. So you see, the person you're starting to care about? He's a monster. You're not, I am. His voice was steel now. And whoever sent you that message knows it. They're using you to get to me. Her phone buzzed again. Another message. Check his laptop. File titled Project Prometheus. Then decide if he's worth protecting. She looked at Yuri. At the guilt carved into every line of his face. At the man who'd been carrying this weight alone for 3 years. I should look, she said quietly. Shouldn't I? Yes. His answer surprised her. You should know exactly who you're dealing with. The laptop sat on the desk inside, password protected. He gave her the code without hesitation. She found the file in seconds. Project Prometheus. Financial statements. Shell companies. Money laundering through offshore accounts. And at the center of it all, a name, Victor Sandoval. Who is this? She asked. My former partner. The one who had Alana killed when she threatened to expose our operation. Yuri leaned against the wall. I've been gathering evidence for 3 years. Enough to destroy him. That audit? He triggered it to keep me distracted while he disappears. So you're not the villain. Relief flooded through. I was his accomplice for 2 years before I knew what he was. Capable of? Yuri's voice was flat. I built half that empire on blood money. I'm not innocent, Alana, but you're trying to make it right. It's too late to matter. Shh. Looked at him. Really looked at him. The exhaustion. The guilt. The desperate attempt at redemption. What if I could help? She said, You can't. This is dangerous, and you're already too involved. Then uninvolve me. She crossed her arms. Fire me. Send me home. His jaw tightened. I can't. Why not? Because he pushed off the wall, closing the distance between them in 3 strides. Because the thought of you leaving makes me want to burn the whole world down. Her breath caught. He was so close she could see gold flecks in his gray eyes. That's not a good reason to keep me, she whispered. I know. His hand came up, cupping her face. But it's the only honest one I have. They stood there, balanced on a knife's edge. The ocean roared below. The moon cast silver across his features. If I stay, she said, I need to know everything. No more secrets. Everything will make you run. Try me. So he told her. About the deals made in shadows. The money that funded his empire. The people he'd hurt climbing to the top. The way Alana had looked at him the night before she died. Like she didn't recognize him anymore. She was going to leave me, he finished. Said I'd become the kind of man she couldn't love. And she was right. Alana listened to it all. Every terrible truth. And when he was done, she said, Where's Victor now? Switzerland. Probably. He has accounts there. How long until the audit results come back? 2 weeks. Maybe less. Then we have 2 weeks to find evidence that clears you and destroys him. Yuri stared at her. You're insane. Probably. She smiled, small and determined. But I'm also really good at organizing impossible schedules and translating cold efficiency into human language. So I'm betting I can translate money laundering trails too. Something broke in his expression. Relief, hope, fear. Why would you do this? Because someone should have stood by Alana, she said softly. And because, despite everything, I think you're worth saving. He pulled her into his arms then, holding her like she was the only real thing in his world. And maybe she was, but neither of them saw the figure. Watching from the beach below, or the camera capturing every moment, they worked through the night like soldiers before battle. Alana's laptop glowed beside Yuri's documents scattered across the suite like evidence of obsession. She traced money flows while he made calls to lawyers, accountants, anyone who might help. By dawn, they had something. A paper trail linking Victor to 14 shell companies and one very illegal arms deal. This could work, Yuri said, exhaustion making his voice rough. If we can get it to the right people. Before the audit concludes, his phone rang. Unknown number. He answered on speaker. Yuri. The voice was smooth, amused. Victor. Working hard, I see. Alana froze. How did you get this number? Yuri's voice was ice.
Please.
I've owned your phones for months. Tracking software is so easy these days. Pause. Your assistant is quite thorough. I'm impressed. Leave her out of this. Too late. She's already in. Tell me, Alana, do you enjoy playing detective? Her skin crawled. What do you want? Simple. Victor's tone stayed pleasant. Tomorrow morning, you'll meet me at the Playa Dorada Pier, alone. You'll bring every copy of those documents, every backup, every piece of evidence you've collected. And if I don't, she challenged. Then I released the photos. What photos? But her stomach already knew. Of you and Yuri on that balcony. Very intimate. Very damning for a man under investigation for corruption. Add a romantic scandal with his assistant? The media will destroy him. The audit will become a criminal probe. Everything he's built will burn. Yuri's face went white. You bastard, no names, please. Alana makes the exchange, or I make you both famous. You have 12 hours to decide. The line went dead. Silence filled the room like smoke. Alana looked at Yuri, saw panic fighting with rage in his eyes. I'll go, she said. Absolutely not. He's not bluffing. You know that? She stood, pacing. If those photos get out, you lose everything. The company, the evidence, any chance at justice for Alana? I don't care. He grabbed her shoulders. I won't let you walk into a trap. It's not your choice. Like hell it isn't. You work for me, remember? She smiled sadly. Not anymore, Alana. I quit. She pulled away. Effective immediately. So, you can't order me to stay? His expression crumbled. Don't do this. Someone has to protect you, she said. Alana couldn't. But I can. By sacrificing yourself. By finishing what she started, Alana picked up the documents, organizing them with shaking hands. Victor doesn't know I made copies. I'll give him the originals. Keep the backups. Once the exchange is done, you take everything to the authorities. He'll kill you. Yuri's voice broke. The moment he has what he wants, maybe, maybe not. She faced him. But at least you'll be safe. At least Alana's death won't be for nothing. I can't lose you too. The words hung there raw and desperate. Alana stepped close, cupped his face in her hands. You never had me, she whispered. Not really. I was always just your assistant liar. She kissed him then. Soft, brief, goodbye. I need you to promise me something, she said against his lips. Anything. Don't follow me tomorrow. No matter what happens, you let me do this. Her eyes burned. Promise me, Yuri. He pulled her tight, burying his face in her hair. She felt him shaking. I promise, he lied. That night they didn't sleep. They sat on the balcony watching the ocean, her head on his shoulder, his arm around her waist. Not speaking. Just being when dawn broke pink and gold across the water, Alana stood. It's time. Yuri caught her hand. There has to be another way. There isn't. Memorizing his face. Thank you for the coffee disaster. For Cancun? For seeing me, Alana? Please goodbye, Yuri. She walked away before he could stop her. Before her courage broke, the pier was empty when she arrived, waves lapping against wooden posts. Salt air stung her eyes. She clutched the envelope of documents, waiting. A black car pulled up. Victor Sandoval stepped out, silver-haired and smiling like a shark. Punctual. I appreciate that. He held out his hand. The documents. She gave them over. Watched him flip through, nodding. Thorough work. You would have made an excellent accountant. He tucked them into his jacket. It's almost a shame. You have what you want, she said. Let me go. But first, he pulled out a phone, showing her the screen. A video. Yuri's office is in New York. My associates are there right now. Planting evidence that will destroy him. Drugs, illegal funds, everything needed to put him away for 20 years. Her blood ran cold. You said if I brought the documents, I said I wouldn't release the photos? And I won't. His smile widened. But I never promised to leave him alone. Did you really think I'd let him walk away after trying to destroy me? You're a monster. I'm a businessman. There's no difference. He turned to leave. Enjoy your freedom, Alana. Yuri won't have that luxury much longer. She watched him get into the car, watched it drive away, and then she ran. Her phone was already dialing as her feet hit the boardwalk. Yuri, answer. Please answer, Alana. His voice was rough, relieved. Are you okay? It was a setup. He's planting evidence at your offices right now. You have to stop them. You have to, I know. She stopped running. What? I never promised to let you do this alone. She heard the smile in his voice. I called the FBI last night. They've had Victor under surveillance since you left. In my offices. Empty, except for federal agents waiting for his people. Relief and fury warred in her chest. You lied to me. Yes, no apology. But I'm done losing people I love. The word love hit her like a wave. Did Yuri come back? He said softly. Please, let me try to deserve you. She closed her eyes. Salt air and hope filling her lungs. I'm on my way. But when she turned, Victor was standing behind her, gun pointed at her chest. I don't think so, he said. Time slowed. Alana stared at the gun, then at Victor's face. Cold, decided. You were always the weakness, he said. The moment I saw you with him, I knew. Yuri Montero doesn't let people in. But he let you in. That made you valuable? He cocked the weapon. Now you're just a loose end. The FBI is watching you, she said, voice steadier than she felt. You fire that gun, you're done. They're watching my men at Yuri's offices. I made sure of that. This pier? He smiled. Private property. No cameras. No witnesses. Dad! His finger moved to the trigger. Nothing personal, Alana. You just chose the wrong man to save. Shot rang out. But not from Victor's gun. He collapsed, blood spreading across his shoulder. Behind him, Yuri lowered a smoking pistol, face carved from rage and terror. Wrong, he said. She chose exactly right. Federal agents swarmed the pier within seconds, appearing from cars and boats like they'd been waiting. Victor screamed about his rights as they dragged him away. Wounded and finished, Alana stood frozen, ears ringing. Yuri dropped the gun and ran to her, hands framing her face, checking for injuries. Are you hurt? Did he touch you? Talk to me, Alana. You shot him, she whispered. I had to. His hands trembled against her skin. When I saw him point that gun at you, nothing else mattered. Not the evidence, not the company, not anything. His voice broke. I couldn't lose you. She started laughing. Couldn't stop. Hysteria and relief mixing into something wild. You promised to stay away, she said between gasps. I lied. He pulled her against his chest. I'll lie 1,000 times if it keeps you safe. An FBI agent approached, professional and brisk. Mr. Montero, we'll need statements from both of you. And the backup files Miss Alana mentioned? Everything's on a secure server, Yuri said, not letting her go. You'll have full access. But first, I need a minute. The agent nodded, stepping away with practiced discretion. Yuri led Alana to the edge of the pier, where water reflected morning sun like scattered diamonds. The world felt new, impossible, real. "I need to tell you something," he said. "More secrets?" She was only half joking. The opposite. He took her hands. "When Alana died, I died too. Or tried to. I built walls, filled my life with work, convinced myself caring was weakness." He swallowed hard. "You broke through all of it. Your clumsiness, your laugh, the way you remembered my tea. You made me remember what it felt like to be human." Yuri? "I'm not asking you to forgive me," he continued. "For the danger I put you in, for the darkness you had to witness. I'm not asking you to stay, or to trust me, or to give me another chance I don't deserve." "Then what are you asking?" He smiled, small and broken and hopeful. "I'm asking if you'll let me spend the rest of my life trying to be worthy of that coffee spill." She laughed, tears streaming down her face. "That's the worst proposal I've ever heard." "It's not a proposal." His eyes held hers. "It's a promise." They stood there as the sun climbed higher, as federal agents processed a crime scene, as the ocean whispered secrets to the shore. Two broken people who'd found each other in the wreckage. "I'm still fired, right?" she asked finally. "Absolutely." "Good." She leaned into him. "Because I make a terrible assistant and an incredible partner." She looked up at him then, saw everything he'd been too controlled to show before. Love, fear, hope, all the messy, beautiful things that made them human. "Take me home, Yuri. Cancun or New York?" "Anywhere you are," kissed her then, soft and desperate and real. The ocean wind tangled her hair. Seabirds called overhead. And somewhere in the distance, sirens faded into silence. Later, much later, when they stood in his New York office watching movers pack away the remnants of his old life, Alana found a photo in his desk drawer. Alana, beautiful and smiling. "She would have liked you," Yuri said quietly, seeing what she held. "You think?" "I know." He took the photo, studied it. "She always said I needed someone who wouldn't let me hide." He set it down carefully, reverently. "Someone brave enough to spill coffee on my suit." "Too soon," Alana said, but she was smiling. The company survived the audit. Victor and his associates went to prison. The media called it the biggest financial crime bust in a decade. Yuri testified, spoke at conferences about corporate corruption, used his platform to push for reform. He never forgot Alana, but he learned to live again. 6 months later, Alana stood on a different balcony in a different city, watching rain paint the windows. Yuri came up behind her, wrapped his arms around her waist, rested his chin on her shoulder. "Regrets?" he asked. She thought about the coffee spill, the trip to Cancun, the gun on the pier, the long road from assistant to partner to something indefinable and essential. "It's not one," she said. He turned her to face him. "I love you. In case I haven't said it enough today. You've said it 6 times, but I'll never get tired of hearing it." They kissed as rain drummed against glass, as the city hummed below, as their future stretched out uncertain and beautiful in theirs. Later, she would joke that the best relationships start with disaster, and he would agree, pulling her close, that the best people are the ones who stay through the wreckage. They learned to laugh again, to trust again, to build something from the ashes of who they'd been, 2 souls who'd found each other at the worst possible moment and chose each other anyway. The end.